She publishing. She publishing. She publishing. She publishing. She publishing.
Hey, y'all know how we like to get started. Welcome to the She Pub Network, where we talk books, authors, and publishers. I am Shanitha Finesse, CEO and founder of She Publishing LLC. Today we have a treat for you. It's ladies' night, okay? It's ladies' night. What? Yeah, so we're gonna have some spectacular women on here tonight, as we do every evening that we go live on the She Pub Network. And today we have an author from the class of 2022. Her name is Dr. Calenthia Miller. You know, I never say her middle name, but it's right on this beautiful book. And then we also have a guest, a special guest who will be on the line with her. So you know what? Without further ado, we're about to jump into it. Let's welcome Dr. Calenthia and Lisa.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, how you ladies doing?
Doing
Good.
great.
Like you said, it's ladies' night. We're doing good.
I know. What we drinking?
Moscato.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a Stella Rosa. Stella Rosa Black.
Oh. Yeah,
That's
look,
the one.
I'm an amaretto. You know.
Okay. I'll take it.
So that's what we gonna do. So, what you ladies been watching lately on the TV? You know, what's good? What's popping?
Sisters.
Sisters.
I'm watching Sisters.
Are y'all serious?
Yeah.
And then after that is Zatima.
See, I haven't gotten into
Yes.
Zatima, but I heard it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Now look,
Yes.
I don't watch Sisters or Zatima, but Zatima, her real name is Crystal, right?
Yes.
She actually has a podcast. I don't know if y'all have seen it.
No.
She talks about her personal life. She talks about how she got started, how she was with Tyler Perry for 5 years. I absolutely love it. She's sitting right on the couch.
Wow.
Y'all need
Lovely.
It seems
check
like
it
she's
out.
a down-to-earth person.
Yeah, now I did
Yeah.
hear a little bit about her background because she used to work as an administrative assistant, I believe it was, with Tyler
She was
Perry.
his costume and makeup
Yeah.
person and stuff.
Oh,
She
okay,
was
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Y'all need to check it out though.
I'm
I'm
happy.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a testament of Tyler Perry, allowing his people he worked with to give them a break. So that's a good story.
Yeah. And her own show.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
spinoff. Ooh.
A spinoff. I don't think he was expecting her to be so well liked and popular and to grow like that. And then when she did, I mean, because she became a fast fave of everybody.
Yes.
I agree. Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I
you know
love her
what?
her whole energy. She's
Me too.
she don't play.
Look, we need to have her on Confessions of a Publisher.
We might have to reach out to, hey, you got a book in the works.
Yeah. Look, we
Definitely.
can both publish it, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll take the
I
first
need to
half.
reach out.
And I take the second. I got it. Bringing up the rear. I got it.
Reach out.
Yes.
All right. So, Dr. Calenthia, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, What do you want to know about me? I'm still getting used to that doctor, but um, I've been in healthcare for the last 34 plus years. First love is nursing, so I was actually a nurse by trade. Decided to continue that road of healthcare and ended up in multiple levels of healthcare, whether it was in front of teaching, running ambulatory sites. Right now, I'm currently everything that I've done has always been a non-for-profit organization. So everything that I've done has been in that arena. So I've been doing it for 34 years, a little bit more than 34 years. So um, I love helping people. I love seeing people thrive. I love the aspect of being able to give back. That's my day job. My other job, which is not really my job, is really my passion now, is my publishing company that I started in January of this year. And then I have also a consulting firm that I'm working with another young lady that we're working to do the content so that we can also provide services for leaders or seasoned leaders or just somebody that's just has one subordinate under them. So that's another piece of it. And then I also have my merchandise business that is attached to my books. So I have a little bit of facet to myself. Just trying to find my niche and also being able, like I said, giving back, allowing this platform that was given to me after my stroke, give it to somebody else. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh, okay. That was a lot. Like, I have several follow-up
Mhm.
questions, but before I get to the follow-up questions, I'd like to know a little bit about the special guest that we have, the other special guest that we have, which is Lisa. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. My name is Lisa, and I've been in healthcare for a little bit over 18 years. I started on the clerical side, and now I'm on the clinical side, which I love. Was in pediatrics for about 17 and a half years. And then I ventured over to the adults. I still miss my babies. Um, I met Calenthia through a previous job when we were together in Virginia, and we just connected and became fast friends. She's more like a sister than anything. And it's just been a phenomenal experience just watching her and just living through her and just seeing everything that she has accomplished. I'm just like so proud of her. So that's just a little bit about myself. So
Wow, and I was about to actually ask how you guys met. So you kind of took that question right out of this brain of mine, right?
yes.
But that's absolutely lovely, and she's like a sister to me as well. I know you've known her longer than me, but that's truly
It's,
someone I call my sister.
Mhm.
it's just her whole energy. It's just the moment you meet her, you're comfortable and you feel at home with her, and she just takes you and embraces you,
Mm.
and yes,
Yeah.
she's kept me, even though I'm older. She likes to, be the older sister, and sometimes she has right to be, because she has to snatch me back sometimes, calm me down sometimes.
Yeah, we need those family members to do that, right? Every now and
Yes,
then.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how did we meet? Oh, she's a crybaby, y'all.
I
And
am.
you
Um,
know,
Don't start, because then I'm gonna start.
look, we all gonna start, okay? Because I'm a crybaby too. Like, I will never forget the day I met her because we had a fire drill. I was literally in the middle of a fire drill. And I'm sitting in the lunchroom area. I'm just like, hey, might as well talk on the fire drill, you know? Uh,
yeah,
and we talked and we talked and we talked.
yeah, for about 2 hours, almost 2 hours.
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I
so
always say
yeah.
there's never a mistake when people are put in your myth, in your
Hmm.
path. It's meant to be. And I always tell people when they ask me how do I get to this side of the I don't want to say the tracks, but this side of the road, I always tell
Mhm.
people it was you just know. You know in your spirit, you know that there was a connection, there was a bond, there was a chemistry through the
Mhm.
phone, you know. So I say the same thing. I say that we're more than you my publisher, but we're family. We always say
Yes,
this on our podcast. We don't choose the family that we in, you know,
yes.
but we, you know, and it was just this chemistry. It was just like, okay. And I think the next day we talked that day, and I think the next day I was like, okay, I'm in. You know, like I'm in.
Yes.
Like I'm
Mhm.
in. You know, it's like,
Yes.
but you felt that bond, that familyness, that connection.
Mhm.
And so that's if I can say anything within this interview, if I can just touch one person that allows me to be able to breathe life into them, allow them to understand that they have purpose and that they can stand in that purpose. And if I'm a part of that bridge to get them to the other side, then I've done my job. So,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
Look, I love it. Well, look, sis, today is about you. Okay, we're
mhm.
gonna be loving on you, and
Mhm.
because we gonna give you what they say, your rose is why you here. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And if we
yes.
could just throw up the books, y'all, because this is what today is all about. Unmask, actually, too. She's written too, and we gonna get into this now. You did mention you had a stroke,
I did.
and what and so the book came.
After. So I've been writing since I probably was about 9 or 10 years old. That was my escape, just to be able to put those visions, those things that you wish you could do as a kid on paper, and that was my getaway. That was my as my I remember my mom will always tell me that I had an imaginary friend, right? So
Mhm.
my imaginary friend was the person in my head, but it ended up being on paper. As you know, as we get older, we have families and we have to live that adult life. And so I had to live that adult life because I had children. So I kind of put the books down. And so I don't remember the actual stroke. Lisa probably can tell you a little bit because actually I was her boss at the time. This is two-time bosses over. So, but anyway, from two different clinics. But I had the stroke in January of last year, and so I don't throw religion on anybody. If God is in your life, or He have a relationship with you, or you have a relationship with Him, they can see it. You don't have to tell them. And so after my stroke in January, January 19th, I had the stroke. January 21st, I flatlined and died. Um, and God gave me this platform to be able to see another day. I remember going through therapy. Like I felt like I was going through, like I was in federal prison. Like I was going through therapy every day, from physical therapy to occupational therapy to speech therapy. I couldn't do absolutely anything. I had no way of doing anything for myself. So I thank God for my boys who were there to really get me through the hump when I first had my stroke. But so I couldn't do anything. I nothing. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't bathe myself, I couldn't do anything. And so one day after coming from therapy, I was just in this funk. I later knew it was depression because you talking about somebody who has been working since they were 14 years old. And so when you had to give up, I felt like gave up all of my independence. And so I remember asking God, I said, I can't do this. This is too much. I don't want to live like this. And He
Mhm.
asked me, just as plain as I'm talking to you, He says, what do you like to do? And I was like, God, you know, you created me. You know what I like to do. He said, no, I want you to tell me what you like to do. And I said, well, God, I like to write. He says, well, okay, we'll do it. And this
Oh,
is what's born out of this is Unmasked. I wrote that in 4 weeks. And then Unmasked, Uncover the
amazing.
Truth, I wrote that in 6 weeks.
That's amazing. So,
So it's coming.
Lisa, did you expect the books? You know, because you guys are in the medical field, and so how does that just happen?
Well, knowing Calenthia and knowing everything that she has in her, I was not surprised. If anything, I was just edging her on, like when you gonna be finished, and she says, I'm not talking to you, because every time she would talk to me, I'm always pushing her like, okay, when is book one? I mean, when we coming out with it? Then when book one came out, I read it in 2 days. And then I started pushing her like, okay, book two, when is it gonna happen? So it was just like whenever I know she puts her mind to something,
Mhm.
you can just go ahead and just take it to the bank. It's gonna be done, and it's gonna be done right,
The
and
truth.
then expect greatness from whatever she does. Because when she puts her hand on it,
Mhm.
that's it, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a surprise when she told me she was writing a book. I was like, okay, when the first book coming out? That was my response, because I was ready, and I'm
Wow.
trying not to bug her about book three, because she told me she was going to disown me. So I'm trying not to
Yeah.
I'm
mention
bugging her
book
too.
three. Yeah, I'm
I
not trying
still
to.
am going to disown you if you ask me about it.
I love you.
I love you too. So much
Right.
I'm going to disown you.
That ain't right.
Hi, it is what it is. It's called
So
family.
Lee,
Family. It's family.
so make no sense. So Lisa, are you one of the characters in the book? Are you the one who found the main character? Is that,
It's it's so funny. That's why she looking at me like that. It's so funny you say that, right?
really?
Because I swear that one of the characters is me, and she keeps telling me that's not you. I said that's me. I said, but that's all right if you want to deny me. That's okay, because I can relate to this character, because this is me, up and down. So, and she says no. She said everybody has a friend like that in their circle. I said, sure.
Everybody has. I think when I wrote the characters, I actually named them all. And people laugh at me because I gave them first, middle, and last names. Like I
Wow.
wanted people to really feel the characters and understand that they were
And you do.
people too, right? And even though
Yep.
it's you can relate to Aaliyah because you got Aaliyah in your family, you got
Mhm.
Anya in your family. I'm still waiting on some Sebastians and some Bryce and some Royce in my families, but we got them
Me
too
too.
somewhere down underneath somewhere,
If
right?
y'all
But
meet them, let me know.
yeah, I'm trying to find them too, but I got to find them first, and I'll let you know. But
Yeah, let me know, girl. Let me know.
You know what?
so
Look, Shanita, when she first came with these men, and I in the description of these men, I stopped reading, called her up, and says, "There's something you would like to tell me. You've been holding out on me. Like, I
Yes.
need to know. Because if
yeah,
you got these men in your pocket somewhere, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and take them out. Okay, let us
I
sister in."
look. So look, as a publisher, I don't have an opportunity to read all the books. I may have read the book in one day. Okay. And I had to read it again. So,
Yes,
and I haven't even gotten to the second book because I've been so busy, so
girl.
busy. But I'm thinking to myself, like, man, is this her? Is she telling her story? And she is intertwined, got these two men who you're like, hold up, where they
yeah,
at?
like
The
what
way
he had.
she described them, the way
In depth.
how does she do that? How does
It's
she get the reader involved in wanting to know who this is?
exactly. That's why I had to stop reading and call her and say, "Excuse me, I need an introduction, please. Thank you." Because these men, and it's with every character she has in there, it's like you
Yes.
know them because of the description and how detailed she is. And it's just like you get lost in the book,
Yes.
because you get lost into the characters, and to a point where you think you are a part of that book. And yes, I am. But anyway, um, but it's just like that's how detailed she is with each character in this book. It's just like it's just like you just like I said, you just get lost. It's like you can't even just really describe it until you read this book. And then when you go into book two, oh my God.
Can't wait.
I
I
was just
can't
like,
wait.
that's why I'm trying not to put my little punt in about book three, because I shouldn't have read book two
Well,
so fast either. I should have took my time.
You're on the letter D in disowned. Letter D.
Wait, let me
so,
write this on now so I know how far I got to go.
so,
Let me
so,
see.
so, sis,
Yes.
you get this a lot where maybe some people think the story is about you, or maybe they think they are a character
Mhm.
in the story. Have you had that with family
Yes,
members and things like
I,
that?
I have. I've actually had several family members, even people that are not in my family. I actually had a family member that was a male who actually asked me, is that you writing that book? Because they know me as,
Oh,
he calls me a nerd, which is okay. I'm good with that. Um, and he was like, did you write that book? And I was like, yeah, I wrote it. He said, you sure? Did you use a ghostwriter? No, I didn't use a ghostwriter. He says,
Wow.
and so his wife, which was is my cousin, he says, you don't know her, do you? There's different phases of me. There's different sides of me. It's not just what you see, because he sees me as Dr. Calenthia. He
yes.
doesn't see me as what she sees me or saw me as when we were growing up as kids, right? So the the dimensions of me are so different when I'm
Mm-hmm.
in mode of writing,
Yeah.
because I just tune out. It's like I'm actually tuning in and feeling the characters and feeling them and feeling what they're feeling, right? There's one part where Anya's in the hospital, and she feels the pain of the IV. I felt the pain of the IV when I was in, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
brought myself to, because I remember feeling how the potassium was going in my arm. And so I'm connecting as I'm writing and feeling the character. So when I was trying to explain to my cousin-in-law, I was like, look, Kobe, like when you in it's like I'm almost like an actor or actress
Mm-hmm.
playing the role and playing a part, but I'm not. I'm some pieces of Anya are me, but not everything, right? But you have to put on, no pun intended, a mask to play
Mm.
the roles of these people. So I mean I knew the names of the characters before I started writing the book, right? So it
Yeah.
was just building on it. So yes, I get a lot of people ask me, well, really, was that really you? And how did you come up with them? It was just God just was pouring into my intellect. It had been so many years. He's like, now I'm gonna give it all to you. Here you go. I don't want you to be depressed. I want you to find some outlet. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. You got too many other things you got to do. There's a platform for you. I need you to come on and do it. And so that's what was pouring into me to continue to write the characters and give them a meaning, give them a middle name, give them a last name, give them a
Mhm.
reason to be in the book, give them this whole detail about family, the importance of girlfriends, the importance of
Wow.
elderly people in the family raising the kids, because we don't see that very often anymore. All we do is dismiss them and put them in nursing homes or put them on the back porch and tell them, drink this tea or this lemonade and be quiet. But you want to see all
Wow.
that in the book, and that's what I wanted to bring to the characters and bring to the book. Of course, as we move along in the story, it starts to evolve around the characters to see what they are about. So a little bit by little bit. So in book one just gives you the introduction. Book two starts to develop the characters, and just as a little bit of a hint, book three will start develop them even more, and you're going to see another character that was in one of the books start to develop a little bit more.
Whoa. Okay, look, I could be on here all night,
Yeah.
seriously. Um, so there's so much that I'd like to unpack in what you just said. So
Hmm.
number one, the cousin,
Hmm.
right? So is he a younger young man?
He's actually older than me.
He's older than you?
Yes, he's older than me.
Okay. Okay, I was wondering because I would think that an older man, and no disrespect, cousin,
Hmm.
I would think that the older men know that the women who wear the glasses with the buns, those are the freaks. Okay, those
I
are the
would thought
ones
so
that
too.
rip
Like,
off the
let me
glasses
take it
and
down.
build
Like, unmasked. Let me show you
a
what I'm working.
bun.
Exactly.
Y'all know the movies. Y'all know the ladies with the glasses on. They be
Yeah.
the bad. They be the ones.
They be like, what's she's hiding? And so, but he had never seen.
And it's
I mean,
always the doctors, right?
no, it's more than the look. No, no. Let me dispel the myth
Lisa
because
know
that's
what
not
we talking.
true. That's not true. No, but yeah, you would thought, but no, the conversation was so interesting. Now I had somebody that was much older than me. I think he is in his 70s, and he read the book too. So he was like, because I mean, he knew me from what a little kid, I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah.
but he told me, he says, I knew you had it in it. I'm just waiting for the
Whoa.
okay.
Wow.
So,
See,
yeah.
Lisa, I can just look at her and tell that, hey, some,
Yeah.
okay?
I
So
have
you
my
can
moment.
tell.
Look, look, I'm still a woman. Don't get that twisted. We're gonna take that D
That's
off of the
Yes.
right.
front of that name.
Yeah. And so when you talk about like building upon the characters,
Hmm.
that's
Yes.
not an easy job. Um,
No.
so Calenthia and I, we do Confessions of a Publisher together.
Hmm.
We had Dr. Rhonda Lawson on there now, and she's an editor, and she talks a lot about editing and the importance of it. Did you get your book edited, or did you do it all yourself?
So I initially did my own edits, but then I realized that with my stroke, a lot of times, let me go back. Before I even decided to publish the book, I did a roundtable discussion with family, and I asked them to read the book. And if you've known anybody that's had a stroke, your mind is constantly moving, and so I felt like my words were could be jumbled, and I didn't feel like it was what it should be. But to my surprise, people were like, no, we couldn't tell that you had a stroke. We couldn't tell that your words were off. So I did do self edit. So in the midst of my stroke, I couldn't write. I mean, I could write, but it was so bad. So I I I learned how to type again in order for me to not forget them. So I would write things down on my little tablet. I mean, not tablet, but my sheets on the side of the bed, and then I would go in and be up late at night just trying to type it. But through that roundtable discussion, people didn't realize, if I hadn't told them I had a stroke, they wouldn't have known it. But I did do my own stuff edits myself. But then I realized, as a first time author, putting it out there, I'm OCD, and Lisa you can probably too. I'm OCD about certain things. It's certain things that I want it to be in line. And she laughing, but it's true. It works for me. And so, as a first time author, I wanted to make sure that what I put out in the public's eye is pristine. And so I did do my edits, and then I went to an editor once I got the book published. I mean, before it got published, I had it
Mhm.
edited. And so I don't think there was too many back and forth with it, because I think I got some really good feedback when I did the first
Mhm.
one. And I was like, that kind of like boost your confidence to say, well, you did something good. So yes, I would agree with Dr. Rhonda. Editing is important. Even though I did my own edits myself, I wanted to make sure I had somebody else looking at it, because you have to realize that you're looking at your own writing, and you're gonna say, oh, it looks good, but you have to take yourself out of that circle and give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, you're so close to that story,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
sometimes you need to give it to someone else,
Yes.
take a look at it.
Hmm.
So, since we've been talking about who may or may not be in the book,
Hmm.
from Lisa and family members and all of that, I want to know from Lisa, who is your favorite character?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say, like, the two main characters, like Anya and Leah, only because I read book two as well. So,
Oh,
and then I have Royce you know.
No, 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 no. I said, who is your favorite character? Now you are saying
I just can't follow it. But I'm gonna say that as of right now, because like I said, I read book 2, it's just a toss up between because their storyline, Anya and Leah. So I
Okay.
can't choose because of you got to read book 2. You haven't read book 2 yet.
I haven't.
Read book
Man.
2. Read book 2.
Okay. So, Dr. Calenthia, who's your favorite?
To be honest with you, I like Miss Margaret. Miss Margaret puts me in the
Oh,
mind of this matriarch that is
yes.
pulling everybody together. We can always say
Wow.
Anya and Leah, but I think Miss Margaret puts a spin on it because again, we forget the older generation that brings so
Yes,
much to the
that's true.
table. And
That's
so I
true.
think Miss
Hmm.
Margaret is one of my favorite characters in the book because she brings this no nonsense in your face, like, look, let me tell you, this is what it is. As Sebastian say, she is the Caribbean mama that don't play, right? So and but you can tell she has this regalness about herself, uh,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
also the sternness about herself and this love about herself that transitions throughout the book, because you're now trying to figure out like what's the plot for her, kind of thing. So I think Miss
Mhm.
Margaret is one of my favorite characters, and I think, and to be
Wow.
honest with you, she is a remnant of my grandmother.
Oh,
My
wow.
grandmother raised 8 children, and she didn't play no games. She didn't play no games about education. She didn't play no games about what was supposed to be done and how you were supposed to act. I mean, every summer, pretty much from the time I was probably maybe 9 or 10, I was at her house in the summer, and we talking about hot Mississippi, hot
Mm.
during the summer. But
Mm,
it was something about her that you knew that when she rolled up on you, she wasn't playing no games. But she did it in a loving manner. And you have to remember, my grandma was born in the 1920s. So
Mhm.
the origin of how you raise children are so different
Yes.
yeah.
from what we look at it now. But you take that foundation that she gave us and you transition to your children. So that's why I think Miss Margaret plays a big part of my heart, because I can remember the stories that my grandma would tell us on that porch, that screen and porch with the mosquitoes that ate you up if you went outside that screen. But
Yeah.
I think Margaret is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, I love it. That's amazing. You just reminded me of one of the reasons I started sheep publishing. One of the reasons was my grandmother. She was in a rehabilitation facility. Um, she was not doing well, and so I sat by her bedside and I'm like, Grandma, I want to know more about your life. Like, this is my first time having this time with her.
Hmm.
And then I stopped her. I don't know why, but I said, when you come out of here, I want to tell me then. I didn't want to know then because I don't know why I thought she was not going to be with us any
Hmm.
longer. And then that's what happened. It's like now, I missed that opportunity. So now having a platform for people to share their stories and their experiences, whether
Exactly.
it's fiction or nonfiction,
Hmm.
I have the opportunity to do that.
And it's a wonderful feeling when you're able to sit down with people, to
Mhm.
allow them, they trust you enough
Yes.
with, I say, their babies, right? Like, I trust you with my baby, my infant, to give to you, and
Mhm.
not even knowing you for 24 hours. Here you go. You know,
No.
so it's that feeling that you get when you know where you need to
Mhm.
put that care in somebody else's hand and don't feel like they're going to abuse it or tear it apart or take the integrity out of it and shape it to the way they want it to see it, you know. So I totally agree. That's why I'm a big proponent of allowing our children to reap the benefits of sitting down
Mhm.
with an older person to
Yeah.
give them the history, because on their shoulders we stand, right? And so that's what Miss Margaret brings to the character, her regalness to say, yes, I want you to stand on my shoulders to be able to see things much clearer than what I did at your age.
Mhm.
Well, y'all sure talking about these characters like they real, and I guess they feel real, right?
And
Mhm.
once you read book 2, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, okay, let me come back on here and do another interview because I just finished book 2.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look, Lisa. When Dr. Calenthia gets in contact with Tyler Perry, you're gonna be in that movie now. We gonna have to be somebody now, okay?
I already know who I am.
Speak it into
Now,
existence, sisters. Speak it into existence.
Yes, I already know who I am. I'm ready. I'm ready for my yes,
you
makeup.
you the best
Yes,
friend, aren't you? Are you the
yes.
one who?
You at I now.
Look, and I did write it down so when you tell me where I'm at, I can keep up. So when I get closer to that end, I'm stopping.
Okay.
Now, Dr. Calenthia,
Yes.
I feel you're an amazing writer.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And like to these are page turners, these books. And I see you, first of all, I think it was like meant for you to have a publishing company. So how did
Mm.
that come about?
So it's interesting that you say that because we were, me and you were having a conversation one day, and I was like, "Hey," because I had just came from the event in October at the gala for your gala, um, and we had went to Atlanta for
Mm,
second. That would have been my first event, pushing out and marketing the new book. And so I think a couple weeks after or something, because we were getting ready to publish book 2. And I was like, hey, are you planning on coming? Are you planning on doing anything in North Carolina? And you said, well, funny that you asked that question. I said, okay, what's the question? You know, like, look, we really need um, more visibility for a sister company in North Carolina. And I wanted to ask you if you would be interested. And I said, yes, you know, and it was like, I'm talking to my sister. So, okay. My sister said she needs some help. Okay. I got you.
yes. Yes.
And that's how Allure came about, because
Wow.
again, I'm not going to cry because I am a crybaby, but I always tell people my stroke was meant for me to have my stroke.
Wow.
Sometimes we have to go through the fire. Doesn't mean we have to get burned. And so going through this allowed me to get to this, to allow me to network and meet new people and give me this platform. As we say, Allure has been born, but it allowed me to meet you as now even though you didn't come out my mom's womb and I didn't come out your mom's womb, but
Okay.
we have bonded. And so that's why I tell people all the time, please don't pity me or make me feel a certain way because you see me with a limp. It's just God just holding me up every day. He's just holding me up to say, I'm giving you this platform, this platform. And I say it all the time, this platform wasn't meant for me. It was meant for other people to shine.
Mm-hmm.
He allowed me to see another day to give the opportunities to other people. So it's always paying it forward. And if paying it forward means that I had to have a stroke, then guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So Allure was born out of me asking if there was going to be some things happening in North Carolina. And when you said, "Hey," I'm like, "Okay, I'm good." And so at that time, I was getting ready to release book 2, and so when book 2 came out, the release date was January 21st, which I always tell
Mhm.
people January 21st is my rebirth day. That's when I came back to
Mhm.
life. So that's where the 21 come in, and that's where the second book came in. That's when I launched Allure. So another,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah, yeah, you've done so much in like so little time, right?
Yeah.
Like
It
who
has been,
does that? Who is an author of two books, then have a publishing company, then her book has gone global,
Yes.
being read and sold in Germany. This is right, one of her first authors,
yeah.
you
Yay.
know. And she has right now, you have a couple of authors right now, and you're have
Mhm.
more
Yeah,
that's
I have
coming
2
on
more coming
board.
up on, yeah. So God has been really good. I can't say it enough. He has truly, when you are doing things right, things come to you. You don't have to go out and solicit for it. You don't have to beg for it.
Mhm.
You don't have to do none of that. It just comes to you.
Exactly.
My first author, I knew him when I was 17 years old. And he
Awesome.
he as they said, the young folks say, he DM me after I left Atlanta, and I hadn't talked to him for about almost 40 years.
Wow.
Close to, no, I take it back, 35, 40, almost 35 years. And he DM'd me one day, and we got to talking. He's my first author, and I published him. He is now actually number one on Kindle. So I mean, it's just been blessings after blessing. And then my second author, which is uh Genesis Lachey, she has held on to her manuscript for 25 years. And she released her baby to me. She trusted me enough to release it to me. And I have two more authors that are due to come on board in October and December. So,
Nice.
like I said, things, if it's truly done in the right spirit,
Mhm.
everything else will fall into place.
Yes.
Everything will fall into place.
Mhm.
All right. Well, look, we've almost been on here for an hour. Okay.
Yeah, yes,
We could talk all day. We really
Yes.
can. But I want the listeners and the viewers to come out and support you at our gala, at
yes.
our Shades of Blue and Gold gala. It will be October. It's a 3-day event because we're celebrating the she being three. And so it's a 3-day event this year. So day one is October 20th. It's like a meet and greet. Day two is the main event. That's the Authors Awards and Gala. And day three, which is October 22nd, is when we're going to have the sessions, the workshops,
Yeah.
the panels, the book signings, all of that other great stuff. Men's mental health care. We're going to have Dr. Rhonda there. We're going to have a chef there who's going to do a meal. She wrote a book. I can't wait to start sending out the marketing material on the things
Yeah.
that we're going to have. So it's going to be a spectacular event. And then we definitely, again, will be presenting awards, these book awards. And we actually present these awards to authors who are triple threats. But it's a book. And we just have a good time. We have a band and DJ battle.
Oh,
We
It
just
wow.
was
have a
it
good
was
time.
lovely. It was that was my first event last year, and I was just in awe the beauty of the blackness in the room. It was just
Right?
it was just black excellence at its best. It was just amazing to see
Yes.
such intelligent, thought-provoking conversations that we were having. It was just amazing. So if the audience is able, or the viewers are able to get to that event, if you're in the Chicago area or the suburbs of Chicago, please come out to it, because it is an amazing event. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah, and we're hoping this year to have Grammy nominated filmmaker there as a keynote speaker. And so everybody in the room who has a book who wants to turn it into a movie, he may be in the room. So this is just some of the things we're trying to do for the authors. Just have resources there for them. And then also introduce our sister companies, Allure, She Sassy, Golden Publishing, Rift Publishing. So hopefully we'll have those ladies in the room as well.
It'd be
So it has,
amazing. Amazing.
Great.
yeah, so it has been a pleasure speaking with you ladies.
Thank you.
Lisa, do you have any like final words for our viewers?
The only thing I can say is just once you get book one, you're gonna be ready for book two. You before you even finish book one, you're gonna be ordering book two, and then you be writing her with Dr. Calenthia Miller. When is book three coming? That's how much involved you'll be into these books. Yes, I put my plug back up in there again. But
Yes.
she is a wonderful author. She's a wonderful person. And I'm just saying that you guys, it's all about the support and just seeing that, that Black woman magic right there is just phenomenal. It just touches my heart because I know from the beginning to where she is right now, I'm just so proud of her. So
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, for the viewers, like whoever makes a comment, whoever purchases the book, I'll include in there a free book so that they can share with a friend.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
that's what it's about. Now, Calenthia, if you could let us know how we could find you, how we can reach you, your websites, all of that.
So I am on Instagram at Allure Publishing LLC. Also on Facebook with the same handle. I'm also on Facebook by my first and last name, as well as Instagram. You can send if you have any questions as it relates to when book 3 is coming out. I'm talking to my publisher over there. My publisher. I'm actually doing the final stuff right now for book 3. So hopefully, in the next couple of probably by August, we should see book 3 coming out. I will say to the audience that this is a 7-series book. So once we get to book 4, we'll start just aligning just the books for the particular characters. But hopefully August. And I want to put it in line with when I release the books from my authors as well too. So look for it in sometime in August to have book 3 out there. But you can also, if you're interested as far as a publishing company, you can also send any inquiries to info@allurepublishingllc.com. So if there's anything that you need to ask as it relates to publishing needs, feel free to send your information there as well too.
Right. Well, thank you, ladies. And it was such a pleasure having you.
Oh,
Thank
thank you
you.
for the invite. Thank you.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna close us up with so at the gala, our men will be hosting the gala.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play a little, they're gonna
Oh.
send us out on a good note. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Good night.
All right. You're welcome.